As everybody knows, or I'm sure you know, unless you're a new viewer, some years ago, a doctor, if you look closely, you'll see the cartilage in my nose here is bent. Anyway, the doctor diagnosed me with blockage, and ear, nose, and throat specialist. Anyway, he said I've been blocked uh, since I was an infant or a little kid. And he asked me. He said, "Did your mom ever drop you?" And I called her on the phone later, and I told him at that moment, "I don't think so." And she said she didn't remember, dropping me. Obviously, you would, even if it's been 50 years ago, you'd still remember because you remember going to the emergency room. But anyway, uh, a couple years ago, I got a horrible coughing jag, and it broke something loose up there because water mucus for a couple days just covered my hand. Anyway, and about 2 weeks ago, I just recovered. I had another horrible coughing jag, and I think what's happened, it's broke more of that loose because I can't remember a time when my breathing was so free. And I've been having here's how hard I've never slept this hard. Here's how hard I've been sleeping at night. It feels like when I sleep I die and I come back to life. I've never experienced. Am I a little worried about any side effects? Because the doctor did say, I was blocked. And he used. I'll share that video. Look, upper. I can't. Which way is right? Anyway, look at the upper right-hand corner. You'll see the link video. But he took a bright halogen light instrument and said I was totally blocked. But some years ago, like I just said, I had a horrible coughing jag a couple years ago, and 2 weeks ago, I had another horrible coughing jag. And right now, as I close my mouth and you hear me breathe, I don't recall, I don't ever recall. And when I first wake up in the morning, I've trained myself, when you first wake up, you're not all there. I've trained myself when I first wake up in the morning to close my mouth and see if my breathing is free. And about 97% of the time it is. I mean, it's totally, and I don't recall it ever being that free. I always thought it was just sinus and stuff until I went to the doctor. And he said, no, if you freeze frame me, you could see I got to have, he didn't say surgery. Then I didn't have no insurance. I paid office call right up front. He just did look at me. I paid it off, cash, because I was wanting him to give me, some information. And he was a nice doctor, but anyways, he said I was bent here. That's when he took his light instrument, halogen light. Anyway, and I think I'll have to have. It's either I'd have to be on a spray. Who wants to be on a spray for the rest of your life to keep that? See, now here, when you're bent like this, you really secrete. You really do. I'm not saying no. It's not a runny nose thing. No, it's just enough secretion. If you don't, you got to keep that clear. But I think the horrible coughing 2 years ago and 2 weeks ago, I think has been a blessing. Those both times have been a blessing in disguise, because I'm pretty damn sure it's broke some of that blockage loose. And you can imagine as an infant or a little kid that being blocked, and you're just too young to understand that you're just too young. You're too young. What infant knows how to clean up their or make sure they stay on stop? You don't. But that mucus is just enough secretion where it caused that blockage. And he said I was blocked. But anyway, since that horrible coughing jag, both times, I'm 99.99% sure it's broke something loose, and it's kind of, oh, when I wake up, I mean, it's when you're making up for sleep, it's a little scary and it's very exhilarating. I'm very relaxed most of the time when I wake up now. But you're thinking I should be under a doctor's care because I am a little afraid of any future reactions of my brain. If your brain don't adjust to it properly, can you have? I wish a doctor was watching this, a doctor, and would give me a real doctor, give me an honest comment. Am I going to have uh, any reactions to this? I really like to know because, like I just said a minute ago, sometimes when I fall asleep, it almost feels like I die. That's how deep I sleep at times. And I wake up. Once I wake up and move around, I'm fine. But watch that linked video. I'll link it.